voice and screen. Those who are attending in online, guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice and screen. Those who are attending in online, guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice and screen. Those who are attending in online, these guys, all of you, check it. All of you are getting my voice and screen. Right. All right. Good morning, guys. All right, and check it. What we completed in the last session. Right, sir. Any of you are new member today, then regular classroom link I'm giving to you. Now try to take this regular classroom link. So every day class notes you are able to get through this particular link only. Okay, I'll show this link to you, then try to take it. If any of you are new, right, sir. Just take this link. This is a link, regular classroom link, classroom notes link. Every day notes I'm going to prepare in this URL only. If you open it, there we can see the total classroom document. So this is Bible for us. Why? Because here on I'm going to provide the complete document, total document. Just if you prepare this document, you are able to get everything about this Java, core Java. Okay, right from starting. Next one is after that, this course, in this course, we are providing video support for every class. Please come. For every class, videos are provided to you, all of you. So to get videos, automatically, any of you are getting videos now? Up to know, those who are attending these classes there, those who registered for the course, I think you have to get that videos link, right? Have you got that videos link? Still, if any of you are not getting that videos link, try to take this number, guys. All of you know, take this number, everybody. With respect to my classes, about my classes, if you want to get any updations, if you want to get any notice, updations, just you can call to this number. This number is my classroom updations purpose. I have taken this number. That's clear to all of you, right? It's okay, fine. Now, yesterday I given one information to you. I want to create a channel to communicate with you every day, or any important message if you want to send to all of you, then I need to go for some interaction with you. So I need to communicate with you directly. Actually, what is the communication we are providing at present? For example, if we want to talk with you, up to know what we are doing there, I have to give some information to my admin people. My admin people will send message to you or mail to you something else. No, but this time I identified one shortcut communication channel in between us. I'm going to provide the channel. Just try to utilize it clearly. So we are able to get regular classes updations with me. Anyway, on a single point of contact is what that this number about my classes. Right, the contact person is a Shiva. Shiva is a contact person, and he will take care about my classes, admission process, or everything, anything. If you required any information about my classes, through this number you can get the data. So here the contact person is what there, Shiva. Shiva is the contact person. We can take it. Everyday classroom notes here we are able to get to this one. Clear or not? Fine. Just 1 minute. All of you are having smartphones, mobile phones. No response. Please 1 minute to open all of your mobile phones and get ready your internet. 1 minute, everybody. It's a one-time work only. Just try to take your mobile phones and 1 minute, connect with your internet in your mobile phone. Don't search for Wi-Fi network here. Okay, then use your mobile data. Fine. All right, son. Then go to the Play Store. Play Store. Go to the Play Store. In the Play Store, search classroom, 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 or otherwise Google Classroom app. Search for it, either Classroom or Google Classroom app. Search for it. That's clear. All right, search for Classroom or Google Classroom. Right, try to install it in our mobile phone. Click on it, install it. Okay, anyway, that installation process is going to be happen, but meanwhile what I am trying to do now, I want to give some clarity. Now try to observe this clearly. This is in our mobile phone, it's okay. In the case if it is not in our mobile phone, if you want to check in desktop in our system, if you want to open it, I'll give some shortcut. Now try to understand it. First of all, let me create a classroom. After that I will give that information to you now. All right, don't worry, then I will give clear cut points to you now. First of all, let me create this classroom. Right, sir. I have so many classes so far. Create a class. Okay. Class name full stack Java 10 AM. Section Java, subject Java. Okay. Then it's okay. Room 501. It's okay, fine. Create it. I'll show the points to you. Don't worry for it. It's okay. All right. Please, all of you take this code, classroom code. Everybody, take this classroom code. All of you. K5UDPTF. Take this classroom code. Everybody. That's it. Again, in our notes, as you can take it now. Later on, we are going to apply it. Okay, but before that, check your mobile phones. Is that app is installed? Have we completed installation of that app, classroom app, in our mobile phone? It's a 1 minute communication, sir. If I post something within a seconds of time, you will receive that. So you will see what I am going to send. Clear? All of you are getting clarity on it. Have you opened that classroom app in our mobile phones? Go to the Play Store. There, type a classroom. App will come. Try to open it. Have you taken this code, classroom code? Okay, fine. Now, observe this. I want to show the process here. If you want to open this in desktop, if you want to open this in desktop, I will show some process to you. Try to understand this process now. First of all, what I am giving clarity to you. First of all, open your Gmail. Not in your mobile phone. Directly you are putting that directly you install that app in your mobile phone. This process is not for your mobile phones. No, this process is for our desktop. In our system, if you want to open classroom, there I'm giving information to you. But in our mobile phone, directly we can install it. At the time of installation, it is asking about classroom code. Whatever the code just now I shown there, that we have to enter, that automatically will enter into the class directly. Classroom code, if you enter, you will enter into the classroom. Is it clear to all of you? Okay, fine. Now in your desktop, if you want to open it, no, just open Gmail. Dots are available. They are nothing but Google apps. Open that Google apps, scroll down. There we can see classroom. There we can see what there, classroom. Click on this classroom. There, inside this classroom, all right, just now I created what there, full stack Java. And before that, understand it clearly. If you open the classroom, you will get an empty panel in our system there. There, click on plus symbol. Click on plus symbol. I created class. That is my responsibility. Here myself is a teacher. You are the students. I created class. So your responsibility is what? Join class. Click on join class. If we click on join class here, there it is asking about class code. Whatever the class code just now we have taken, that enter class code here we have to enter. Enter the class code what we entered. If you enter class code now, at right side topmost corner, join button is available. Click on the join button. When you click on the join button, automatically you will come to this classroom. What classroom here? There we can get like what there? Full stack Java 10 AM that we are able to get. There in that inside this classroom here we are able to get it now. Now we will see this one. If I give any announcement, if I give any announcement here, all right, now just I'm providing there, welcome to Durgasoft. Just message I'm giving there, observe carefully. All right, sir. Now here, all right, just I'm going to post this one. If I post this, there here, we are able to get like what there. All right, this message here, we are able to see. Then directly in our like a classroom app, you can see that post. Just welcome message are given, that there we can identify that post, isn't it? All of you are okay with this? All right, so now. So have you seen that message? What are the message now I sent there? Have you seen that message? Okay, sir, good. So anyway, then try to remember this classroom code. This classroom code is a key to log in or to enter into this particular class. It's okay now. I want to give that information here. Google Classroom code. Google Classroom code for this. No. Right, sir. It's okay. Fine. So Google Classroom code I given in the document here so that we can utilize this. Now, this URL, I'm going to give these details to you guys, then try to recognize it in the post. Right, sir. Now here, don't give any messages to me. And one more important notice I'm telling to you. This channel is for the sake of only technical discussion, not even discussion. No, it's a single side information only. I want to give some messages to you so that you can read them. That's it. Don't give any messages to me, even reply also. Okay, sir. Good, sir. Nice, sir. No, not required. And some messages I used to get. Had breakfast, sir. Had lunch, sir. Arey yaar. I have my own family to take care about my lunch and dinner, no, right? Don't think too much about it. Uh, Fine. Just I want to give some technical things to you through this channel. Or else, in the case if I'm not going to come for the class, if I don't want to come for the class tomorrow or maybe today or some information I want to give, all of sudden information is there. So that I'm creating this particular channel. Try to utilize this. Okay. Not for any casual discussions. Still, if you're thinking about it, my dress is not good. I don't have any problem. Together we will go to the shopping. You can buy shirts to me, no problem there. But shirts minimum cost will be 10,000. Remember it. Okay, right. So accept other than these messages, no, give the information here, no. Right, sir. All right, so now here I'm going to give some other information there. That means classroom link and all that information here I'm providing there. All right, so now these details here we can identify, no. Here are the details about the classes. All right, now here we can utilize this all the content here, right, up to now. Right, just I'm giving this one there, we can utilize all the content. All right, sir, I think so this information is sufficient for you to interact with me. All right, sir, already people have might be registered with me, then 49 members are already joined. That's okay, nice, good. All right, sir, now just I want to close this. If I require to send any other information, then I will share with you. Just I want to wind up this, I want to close this. Sir, clear? Can I move forward? Can I go for the content? All right, leave this one. This is only one time work that we have to do. Leave this one. Now let's move on to the content here. So now coming to the process, coming to the content, in the last session, just we completed history of Java. What exactly the history is behind the Java? What was the background scenario, background story of Java? Why Java programming language was introduced in outside? All the points we understood in the last session. Now, in today's session, we are going to understand the differences between Java and others. Differences between Java and others. Here the others are what? C and C++. Here the others are what there? C and C++. All right, sir. All of you observe carefully. The very first point. Very first point I'm telling to you, observe carefully. C and C++ are static programming languages. C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is a dynamic programming language. But Java is a dynamic programming language. That is the very first difference what we are having in the differences between Java and others. Right. Now, I'm asking one question to all of you guys. Now try to answer for me. Out of these members, how many of you are not aware about Java previously? Even I didn't heard about the word Java. I don't know anything about Java. That means less than 5 scale, out of 10 scale, less than 5 scale. How many of you are available now here? Please raise your hands. I think you understood my question. How many of you are not having awareness on Java? That's the question I'm asking there. Of course, all of you are not aware about Java totally. At least basics I'm asking there. No, no response. Please raise your hand, sir. So you should not feel anything shy. You're coming here for learning, right? Nice, good. No problem. Now I'm going to start our content, try to understand it now. First of all, tell me what exactly the first difference here we are taking now. Close the window. What exactly the first difference here we are taking there? Now tell me. The very first difference is what there? C and C++ are what? Static programming languages, but Java is what? Dynamic programming language. 1 minute. Before going to understand static programming language, dynamic programming language, before understanding all these points now, first of all, I want to give some fundamentals, some fundamental concepts. Try to recognize these fundamental points now. Very simple fundamental points. Now, understand it clearly, all of you know. Related to our topic only, but understand it clearly. For example, I have written a program. I have written a program. Which program I have written? In our point of view, you can understand it. It's a C program. Example, I have taken. It's what program there? C program. Nice. C program. Here we have taken. For what purpose you are writing the C program? Now tell me. We have written a program. For what purpose? Okay. After writing the program, what next one? Next one is I have to execute the program. There I have to get some output. For the sake of getting output, for the sake of executing the program, for the sake of getting output only, I have written this program. Am I right or not? Right, sir. Now observe carefully. If you want to execute the program, your execution we have to do or not? This is nothing but what their execution. This is exactly called as like what their execution. Who will perform this execution now? Everybody understand this clearly. Who will perform this execution now? Who will execute the program? C engine. C programs are executed by a separate engine called C engine. C++ programs are executed by a separate engine, that is C++ engine. Java programs are executed by a separate engine, Java engine, that is also be called as JVM. It is also be called as what there? JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Python programs are executed by a separate engine, that is Python engine. It is also be called as PVM, Python Virtual Machine. Clear to all of you? All right. Now here, C engine is executing our C programs. It's okay, fine. Now observe carefully. When we wrote the C program, when you give the C program to the C engine has to execute that, and the C engine has to provide some output to us. Now C engine has to provide like what there? Some output. C engine has to provide what there? Some output. Observe carefully. Clear? First of all, what we have to do there, whatever the program we have written, that program here we have to provide to the C engine. C engine must execute this program. C engine has to give some output. Clear to all of you? But here there is a small problem. What is that problem here? Understand it clearly. When we provide this program to the C engine is not going to execute that program directly. When we provide our program to the C engine is not executing that program. Why it is not executing? Observe carefully. We have written this program, C program, .c file program in developers understandable language. In a developers understandable language only, developers have written the C program. That is what is that program actually? High level language. That representation is what there? High level language. What is this high level language actually? High level language. In high level language only we are writing the program. But any example for it? No. Example is very simple. Int I is equal to 10 semicolon. We have written this is high level representation. This is what representation here? No. High level representation. All of you are getting clarity up to now? We prepared our program in our understandable language, that is high level language. That's okay, fine. But if we observe the C engine is able to understand the program in a low level language. C engine is able to understand the program in what their low level language. What is this low level language actually? Understand this clearly. What is this low level language? No, int I is equal to 10 is the language, no, is an instruction, no, that is provided in the form of a low level language, in the sense like what there, in the form of the zeros and ones only, in the form of machine language only, that JVM, that means C engine, is able to understand the code. Have you seen the difference between a high level language and a low level language? No, developers can write the program in high level language, but our C engine require the program in which language? No, low level language. It able to understand only low level language. It able to execute only low level language. Our high level language is not understandable to the C engine. Now think of it. How can we execute this program now? Is it possible to execute the program here? No, not possible here. Exactly in this particular situation, to execute our program, to run our program, what we are going to do? No, we are going to translate the program from, high level representation to low level representation. We need to translate the program from high level representation to low level representation. All right, sir. Now here I want to go for this translation here. This is the translation here. We can understand high level representation to low level representation. Here we are going to use translation. All right, what this translation is going to do? No, when we provide this program to the translation process, this translation process will convert the program from high level representation to low level representation in the form of a separate file. The high level representations are converted to low level representations in the form of a separate file. In the case of C programming language, the name of this particular file is a .exe file. In the case of C programming language, the name of that file is what there? .exe file. Inside the .exe file, what we are having there, observe carefully. Here we are able to have like what there? Only low level code only. Here we are able to get, understand it clearly. Here we are getting like what there? Low level code only. Understand this clearly. This is like what there? Low level representation. That is nothing but what there? .exe file. Clear to all of you know? Whenever we are getting this .exe file, if we provide the .exe file to this C engine or this execution process, automatically C engine will execute this low level code. C engine is able to provide some output. Clear up to now? What is the requirement of this translation, sir? Now tell me. This translation is converting our program from what language to what language? High level language to what language there? No, low level language. Low level language is available in the form of what symbols there? Zeros and ones here. No, this is only be executed by C engine. Right, now I'm giving one more point. Try to understand this clearly. To translate our program from high level language to low level language, we are saying that a translation process. Am I right or not? Translation process here, we are saying this. Now this translation process is officially called, this translation process is called compilation. This is the real meaning of compilation. This is the meaning of compilation. The translation is nothing but what? Compilation. Straightly, I'm asking this question. What exactly the purpose of the compilation? To translate the program from high level representation to low level language in order to execute that program by C engine. Clear? One more point. Here we have written some program in high level language only. I have written program. Okay. Directly after writing that program, directly I'm giving that program to the execution. Directly I'm giving that program to the execution. C engine is trying to execute the program. In the case, for example, if I have any mistakes in our program, how that C engine can execute that program at runtime? So here altogether, what's the point I'm telling now? Before going to execute our program, you should have the responsibility to check whether our program contains any mistakes or not. Come again, what's the point I'm telling there? Before going to execute our program, what is our minimum responsibility? Here we have to check whether our application contains any error or not. If you have any error, correct it. After correcting that error only, we have to send that application to the execution process. Means that before executing our program, first we required error checking process or not. First we need error checking process or not. So to perform that error checking, again we have to go for what there? Compilation. For checking error, again we are going to use what there? Compilation. Compilation is for two purposes. What are the two purposes now? First one is what there? To translate our program from high level representation to low level representation. And the second one is what there? To check the developers' mistakes in our program. To check developers created errors in our program. Because of these two reasons only, we have to go for what there? Compilation. Now tell me, compilation is mandatory or not? Compilation is mandatory or not? So definitely compilation is a mandatory. Here I'm giving there now to translate program from high level language to low level language and to check errors. These are the two requirements of the compilation. Okay, fine. I'm going to use some terminology. I'm going to introduce some terminology. Understand it clearly. All of you know. The time when we perform compilation, is called as, compilation time. Is called as what there? Compilation time. Is also called as static time. The time when we perform compilation is called what there? Compilation time, and is also called what there? Static time. Right, sir. Next one is one more point. I'm telling to you, the time when we execute our program, is called execution time. The time when we execute our program is called what there? Execution time, and is also be called as like what there? Runtime. Is also be called as what there? Runtime. So in this overall discussion, I required only 2 points. What is a static time? What is a runtime? Or what is a dynamic time? Right, sir. Static time is what there? Compilation time. The time when we perform compilation. Dynamic time is what there? The time when we execute our program. Is it? All of you are getting it or not clearly? No. Clear? All right. One more small fundamental point. You need to understand it clearly. All of you observe carefully. Now up to this is what there, one type of discussion here. It's okay, fine. Now understand this point clearly. For example, I declared a variable, I variable here. I declared, for example, int I is equal to 10. I declared. My question is, how many bytes of memory will be allocated for I variable? In the case of Java, 4 bytes. In the case of C and C++, 2 bytes of memory. Finally, some memory must be allocated for this I variable. Am I right or not? Memory must be allocated for which variable there? I variable. I want to give clarity now. Try to understand it clearly now. So here I is the name. I is the name. Here I am going to provide like what there? Memory block. It may be 2 bytes of memory or 4 bytes of memory. Depends on the language. we are going to use 2 bytes of memory. Now where the value, the data is what there, 10 is a value, that what we are getting clearly. Okay, fine. So for I variable, 2 bytes of memory is allocated and its data is 10. The 2 bytes of memory is allocated, is decided, 2 bytes of memory is decided on the base of what? 2 bytes of memory here allocated is on the base of what? On the base of the data type or not? Come on guys, integer takes 2 bytes of memory in C, C++. Integer takes 4 bytes of memory in Java. The 2 bytes of memory or 4 bytes of memory or 8 bytes of memory is totally depending on the data type or not? No response guys. All right, that is totally depending on what their data type here now. So for every data type, for each and every data type, a block of memory must be assigned, a block of memory must be created. This is called as memory allocation for the data. This process is called as what there? Memory allocation for the data. So up to now what we understood, what is the requirement of the compilation we understood, what is the meaning of the execution we understood, what is static time, what is dynamic time we understood. After that, how memory will be allocated for the data we understood. Please remember, next statement is important. We are very much close to the actual point. Listen carefully my point. If the memory allocation is provided for the data at a compilation time, come again, if the memory allocation is provided for the data at what time? Compilation time, then that memory allocation is called as static memory allocation. Come again, what's the meaning of static memory allocation? If the memory allocation is provided for the data at what time? Compilation time, then that memory allocation is called as what there? Static memory allocation. Similarly, if the memory allocation is provided for the data at a runtime, at a dynamic time, if the memory is allocated for the data at a runtime, at a dynamic time, then that memory allocation is what their dynamic memory allocation. Have we got the clarity about the static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocation? Come on, what is the static memory allocation? Static memory allocation is a memory allocation for the data at what time? Compilation time. What is this dynamic memory allocation now? Dynamic memory allocation is a memory allocation for the data at what time here? At a runtime. So this is what exactly the meaning of static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocation. Last conclusion, understand it clearly. Last conclusion, I'm about to give the conclusion. If any programming language follows static memory allocation, that is, the memory will be allocated for the data at a compilation time, that programming language is called static programming language. If any programming language follows memory allocation for the data at a compilation time, or if any programming language follows static memory allocation, that is, the memory allocation is available or is provided for the data at a compilation time, then that programming language is called as what there? Static programming language. Examples: C and C++. Now tell me, what is the opposite point now? If any programming language follows dynamic memory allocation, that is, the memory is allocated for the data at a runtime, at a dynamic time, then that programming language is called as what there? Dynamic programming language. Understand my point clearly, all of you know? Dynamic programming language. All right, example for this dynamic programming language is what there? Java, Python, and so on. So many programming languages are available. I think so you understood clearly my point, Ken. Now tell me, actually, what is our difference now? What is the difference? First difference here we are trying to think now. Now tell me. C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is what there? A dynamic programming language. If you observe this diagram, for that point, here we have some clarity or not? Here we are getting some clarity or not? So this is what exactly the meaning of like what there static programming language and dynamic programming language. At least I need to provide some statement here under this particular title. Now understand this clearly. First of all, if any programming language follows static memory allocation, if any programming language follows static memory, follows static memory allocation, that is the memory which is allocated for the data at a compilation time. That's the memory that is the memory which is allocated for the data at a compilation time is called static programming language. Simple example I am telling there, C and C++. Simple point I am telling there, in C and C++ applications, memory will be allocated for the data at a compilation time only. That's it. Now this is a point here we can understand. Now tell me similarly, what is that another point here I'm telling there? Now tell me here. Same as it is here I'm going to provide. Now try to understand it. What changes here we require now? If any programming language follows dynamic memory allocation, that is the memory which is allocated for the data at what time here now? At runtime. At runtime is called dynamic programming language. Is called as what there? Dynamic programming language. Right. Then that programming language is called at runtime. Then that programming language is called dynamic programming language. Right, sir. Now here also let me go for the change here. No? At compilation time, then that programming language. That's okay, fine. It's called as static programming language. Right, sir. Now tell me, what are the examples for this dynamic programming language? No, Java and Python, of course. But I don't require Python immediately. Just only Java here I'm thinking there. Now here I'm giving clarity. No, in Java applications, memory will be allocated for the data at what time here? No, at a runtime. It's very clear information, at a runtime only. Because of that reason, Java is a dynamic programming language. Please remember this point here itself. The same point I'm going to use number of times throughout our Java. In a different locations, I used to ask the questions to you. Definitely, right? C, C++, which type of programming languages? There you should give the responses. What are the static programming languages? Java is what type of programming language? Dynamic programming language. Right? Memory allocation is going on at the runtime only. Because of that reason, Java is what there? A dynamic programming language. Clear? Can I go for the next point now? Next point, right? Fine. Everybody has to understand it. And one more thing I'm telling to you, suggestion from my side is what? Today I'm going to complete some topics. For example, on this day, I'm going to complete some topics. Right? Today itself, we have to prepare the topics. Preparation of the topic in the sense, not like what there, open the document, just reading the document. No. Okay, open the document, read 1 or 2 times here. Close the document, try to recollect the points. If you are getting all the points in our mind, then it's okay. Then we are updated with this. If you are missing any 1 or 2 points in the middle, again we have to open the document, read it, again close it, again recollect the points. Day 1 onwards, we have to do this kind of murmuring. Then easily we can remember the content for a long time. See, don't ask to me, no, sir, which topics are important in the introduction, which topics are not important. No, this kind of questions you can leave it. No, now this is a basic part. Everybody must know the basics. If you're strong in basics, remaining content will be very simple. Already in the point of interviews yesterday I given which topics are important and which topics are not important. In the form of some stars are given. That is the oral information there. But every concept is important. Everything we have to understand now. Don't go for shortcut mechanisms to understand it. Clear to all of you now? Right, sir. Now let's move on to the next point here. Number 2, difference number 2. This is important difference, somewhat important difference. We have to understand it now. Preprocessor is required in C and C++. But preprocessor is not required or does not require in Java. Preprocessor is required in C and C++. Preprocessor does not require in Java or is not required in Java. Right, so that's okay, fine. Now this is what exactly the second difference here we can understand. Fine. Now here I'm asking one question to you. Now try to answer for it. Before going to understand that C++, that means preprocessor is required in C++, preprocessor is not required in Java. Before going to understand that, first of all, what is preprocessor? What is the job of the preprocessor in programming languages? What does preprocessor is doing in our applications? All these many questions we have to understand. After that, we are going to think whether preprocessor is required or not required in C, C++, Java. First of all, we have to understand what is the job of the preprocessor. What is the necessity of the preprocessor in programming languages. First of all, let's understand what is the location of the preprocessor. What is the location of the preprocessor? First, we have to understand it. Let me copy this diagram also in the document. Right, sir. That's okay, fine. Now, let's move on to the points here. What is the meaning of preprocessor? Now, here, I want to give a diagram. Try to understand this diagram. Everybody, put more concentration. For example, here I have taken C program only. If it is a C program, that file extension must be what there? .c. Okay, I've written the C program. High level language only. Good. When I write the C program, next we have to perform compilation or not? Come on, guys. Here we have to perform compilation or not? Yes. What is the purpose of the compilation? Now tell me. What is the to translate our program from high level representation to low level representation and to check the errors, error checking and translation from high level to low level. Good. Now tell me, when we compile our C program, definitely we are able to get some file. What file here we are able to get? No. Come on, what files here we are able to get? No. Maybe in the case of C, a bit confusion. Finally, I'm telling there dot obj file, dot something else CLI or something else, some other file. No. Finally, dot exe file is available. Understand my point? That's okay, fine. Whenever we are getting this dot exe file, then we have to execute this program or not? There we have to execute this file or not? Now here, how we are going to execute this particular one? Understand this clearly. To execute this particular .exe file, there we have to use execution process. There we have to go for what process? Execution process. Execution process. When we execute our program, there we are able to get like what there? Some output. When we execute our program, there we are able to get like what there? Some output. Right, so now there we are able to execute like what there? Some output. That's okay now. This is what exactly the structure of the compilation and execution. Already we have seen that in the last example, right? All of you understand this clearly. Compilation. If we come for the word compilation, do you think about it? Compilation could be done by only one compiler, only one machine compiler. Do you think like that? The total compilation is done by a single machine, that is compiler? No. No. Compilation includes nearly 4 missions combined work. Compilation includes 4 missions combined work. What are the 4 missions? No. First one is preprocessor. Preprocessor is the first one. Second one is compiler. Third one, assembler. Next one is loader, link editor. Actually, these are 2 missions, no? But in general, we used to treat these 2 or what are single mission. So these 4 missions of work, combined work, is nothing but what their compilation. Observe carefully. What are the 4 missions? Can you tell me? Preprocessor, compiler, assembler, loader, link editor. Okay, fine. Anyway, we are having the discussion about this compilation. That's why even I want to give the structure for compiler also. Inside the compiler, out of these 4 missions, compiler is an important one. In the future, I'm going to use this compiler part here. So here in the compiler, I want to give some structure, internal structure. Compiler internal structure has 6 number of phases. Again, compiler has the 6 number of phases internally. What are the 6 number of phases now? Lexical analysis, syntax analysis, semantic analysis, intermediate code generation, code optimization, then code generation. Like this, here we are having some content. Right, sir? Now they are the 6 number of phases which are available in like what the compiler, inside the compiler. Guys, I'm going to ask some questions to you now. Try to understand it now. How many phases are available in compilation? 4 phases. How many phases are there in a compiler? 6 number of phases are available. What are the phases which are included in compilation? Pre-processing, compiler, assembler, loader, link editor. Inside the compiler, what phases are available? Lexical analysis, syntax analysis, semantic analysis, intermediate code generation, code optimization, and code generation. Right, sir. So these are overall phases are available in compilation. Observe carefully. What are the phases which are available here? We understood clearly. That's okay, fine. Now here, our requirement is clear, very clear. Our requirement is satisfied here. What exactly the location of the preprocessor? That's my main point. What is the location of the preprocessor? That's my main point that we understood. What is the location of the preprocessor? It's a part of the compilation. It's the first phase of the compilation. The pre-processing phase is what there? First phase of the compilation. Let me copy this diagram here. I want to give some points here. That's okay. Now here we understood from this here. Preprocessor, right? So now preprocessor is the first phase in the compilation process. It will do some work. What is that work? It will do now. All right. What preprocessor will do? That's my next question. What preprocessor will do? That's my next question. Observe carefully. I'm going to give that point only. Now try to understand it now. Now tell me, all of you now tell me, in a C and C++ applications, or maybe in C and C++, in a C and C++, first of all, tell me, every programming language is having some predefined library or not? Two types of libraries are available. One is a predefined, other one is user defined. Our defined is user defined. Programming language defined is what they're predefined. So in C and C++, the complete predefined library was provided in the form of header files. Am I right? In C and C++, the total predefined library is provided in the form of what their header files. Now, what are the examples for these header files? No, yesterdayvo.h. Am I right or not? Yesterdayvo.h, conyo.h. Next one is what there? Like math.h. Am I right or not? Math.h. Like this. So many header files are existed. Clear? Okay, predefined library is available in the form of header files. That header files are available in our C software, what we installed in our system. Okay, fine. But I want to use them into my C program. I want to use the predefined library from these header files to the C program. All right. If we want to use predefined library, if we want to use predefined library in the C and C++ applications, then we have to include these header files. We have to include these header files in the C and C++ applications. C and C++ applications. Now tell me here how we are going to include them. To include header files into the C and C++ applications, what we have to do there? We have to use what statement there? Now tell me. Hash include statement. If you want to use predefined library in C and C++ applications, then we have to include these header files in the C and C++ applications. To include these header files, to the C and C++ applications, we have to use hash include statements. Now let's see this one. I want to show some example here. Hash include stdio.h. Hash include conio.h. Next one is hash include math.h. Like this here we are able to provide. Up to that, it's okay. Normal concept only. Header files are available in C, C++. Header files are included in C, C++ applications by using hash include statements. Clear or not? Now, 5 minutes of time. Put more concentration. I'm going to talk some internal content. All of you ready? Right. Then what is the first point here I'm telling there? For example, I prepared a C program. Inside my C program, I have written all the hash include statements. I've written a C program. Inside the C program, I have included all the hash include statements. And if we compile the C and the C++ application, then preprocessor will perform the following actions. Come again, what's the point I'm telling here? If we compile C and C++ applications, then preprocessor will perform the following actions. What are the various actions which are performed by the preprocessor? Observe carefully, all of you know. Point number 1. Preprocessor, observe carefully, preprocessor will recognize all the hash include statements. What's the first point? No, preprocessor will recognize all the hash include statements. Number 2, preprocessor will read all the header files names from the hash include statements. Am I right or not? Now tell me, what is the second point here? Preprocessor will read all the header files names from the hash include statements. After that, preprocessor will go to C and C++ softwares. Preprocessor will go inside the C and C++ softwares. Preprocessor will check whether the specified header files exist or not in C and C++ softwares. Come on guys, what is the point here I'm telling to you? Preprocessor will go to C and C++ softwares. Preprocessor will check whether the specified header files exist or not in a C and C++ softwares. Clear? All of you are following the points now? When I write a C program, when I compile C program, preprocessor will perform some actions. First, preprocessor will recognize all the hash include statements what we have written. All these hash include statements. Preprocessor will read all the header files names from the hash include statements. Preprocessor will go to the C, C++ softwares, where preprocessor will search for them in the C, C++ software. Understand my point here now? All right. If the specified header files are not existed in the C and C++ softwares, whatever the header files names we specified, which are not available in the C and C++ softwares, then preprocessor will raise an error message. Preprocessor will raise what there? Some errors. There we are able to get some errors here, we can understand clearly. What is that error? No, later on we'll think about it. Maybe header files are not available, some type of error messages here we are able to get. If the specified header files are not available in C and C++ softwares, preprocessor will give some error message. Why? Because there's a part of the compilation only. Preprocessor is working under the compilation process only. So because of that reason, if the header files are not available, it will provide some error message. Clear? Next point is now. For example, if the specified header files exist at C and C++ softwares, if the specified header files exist at the C and C++ softwares, then the preprocessor, what it will do now? Then the preprocessor will load the content, of the header files to the memory. Come again. First, preprocessor will recognize all the hash include statements. Preprocessor will read all the header files names. Preprocessor will search for them in the C and C++ software. If these header files are not available in C and C++ softwares, preprocessor will raise some error. In the case, if these header files are available in the C and C++ softwares, what preprocessor will do now? Preprocessor will load that header files content to the memory or not? Tell me, this entire thing is going in at what time? Compilation time or at runtime? Compilation time only. Compilation time only. Answer my point clear? Clear. Now the point I am telling to you, this type of loading predefined library at compilation time. This type of loading the predefined library at compilation time is called answer my point here, is called static loading. Loading predefined library at compilation time is called as what there? Static loading. Clear? What is going on at the pre-processing level? If we compile the C and C++ program, the total information I'm telling you. Now I can go for the conclusion about C and C++. What is that conclusion here? Understand this clearly. Listen all of you clearly. In C and C++, preprocessor is required. In C and C++, preprocessor is required to recognize all the hash include statements in order to load all the header files content to the memory. That's it. This is what exactly the purpose of like what their preprocessor. Now finally, now tell me, in C and C++ programs, header files are required or not required? Required. Header files are required. Once the header files are required, we have to load them to the memory or not? If you want to load them to the memory, what is required now? Preprocessor is required. So in C and C++ applications, preprocessor is required to load or to recognize all the hash include statements in order to load the provided header files content to the memory. Clear? All of you are getting clarity on this point now? Can I move forward? No response, sir. But two members, sir. Exactly two members. Right from starting point of the class, they are sleeping continuously. Javan, every point I am looking them, even they are unable to recognize me. No, this is not sleeping time. This is only learning time. And next I will point out you, sure. Definitely I'll point out next time. But don't sleep inside the class now. They are understanding my points perfectly. Okay, fine. That's okay, good for me. So next, if you are sleeping in front of me, I will keep your chair here in front of me. That's it. Otherwise, I will come to you. I will ask 10 Java questions. If you give answers for them, you can sleep inside my class, no problem. Okay, don't sleep. Are yaar, initial classes. If you're sleeping in initial classes, how can you complete the remaining total content? Am I conducting this program? That means am I conducting these batches for the sake of your sleeping now? Huh? Right, sir. Understand it clearly. Fine, sir. Now overall, C and C++, why preprocessor is required? That point here we understood clearly. All right, what is the remaining part now? Come on, what is the remaining part now? Preprocessor is not required in what there? Java. Why it is not required in Java? That point also here we understood. Why preprocessor is required in C and C++ we understood. But why it is not required? That point also here we have to understand now. Now let's move on to this point here. All right, first of all, I give in this diagram here. For example, if we are using, if we want to make it is Java, the same diagram, if you want to make it is Java, what changes we required? Now let me check this one. It is not a .c file. Tell me, guys, this is what file here? No, .java file. Very clear. And it is not like a .exe. In the case of C, C++, it's a bit confusion. .ai file, .obj file, .exe file is a bit confusion. So many files will come. But in the case of Java, it is a straight. Before compilation .java, after compilation only we are able to have the files like what there? .class files. Before compilation .java, after compilation .class. This is a point here I'm telling you. That's okay, fine. Next one is in the case of Java, what is not available? Hey, in the case of Java, what is not existed? Preprocessor. Compiler is available, but preprocessor is not existed. Yes, sir, got it or not? Preprocessor is not available. Remaining structure is as is that we can understand in the case of Java. Okay, here itself I want to give the diagram here, but I want to give points also here. Now try to understand it now. Now we have to understand why preprocessor is not required in the case of Java. Now first of all, tell me in C and C++, the complete predefined library is available in the form of header files or not? Right, sir. In Java, listen carefully. In Java, see, C++ is not our actual requirement. In the relative comparison, I've given that, but this is our requirement. This is about our Java. Please put concentration here now. In Java, the complete predefined library was provided in the form of classes and interfaces in packages. Understand the point now? What's the point I said to you? In the case of Java, the complete predefined library was provided in the form of classes and interfaces in what? Packages. Package is a folder. Package is nothing but a folder where number of classes and interfaces are going to be provided. Clear? Examples for packages we have to understand. Number of packages are available. Java.io is one package. Java.util is another package. Right, sir? Java.util. Next one is Java.sql is another package. Like this, so many packages here we are having. More and more number of packages are existed. Clear? Okay, packages are available which contains classes and interfaces. That is a predefined library in the case of Java. Clear? Understand my point here. In the case of C and C++, header files are available. To include the header files into C program, what statements we have used there? Come on, hash include statements we have used or not? To include header files to the C program, hash include statements we have used or not? Similarly, in Java, observe carefully. In Java, if you want to use a predefined library in Java applications, then we have to include or then we have to import, not include. I'm saying that we have to import packages. We have to import packages. For this, we have to use import statement. In C++, hash include statement. In Java, what is the statement? No, import. In C++, header files. In Java, classes and interfaces in packages. Hash include statement, here import statement. Clear? Now here, just we need to understand some structure also here I'm going to write. That means example here I'm telling you, try to observe carefully. Example is like what there? Import java.io.star. Star is representing all classes and interfaces from java.io. Java.io package. That means each and every package contains hundreds of classes and interfaces. Java.io package contains more and more number of classes and interfaces. I want to get all of them to my present Java file. All from Java.io package I want to get. So here we have to use what there? Import java.io.star. Similarly, now import java.util.star. Next one is after completion of this, another point here I'm telling to you, import java.sql.star all classes and interfaces from java.util.package, java.sql package we want to get. That's the meaning of it, this import statement. Okay, clear? If I prepare a Java program which includes all the import statements, and if we compile the Java program, if we compile the Java application, then now observe carefully, who will perform? Compiler will perform. Here compiler will perform the following actions. In the case of C and C++, what it is performing the actions? No, preprocessor has performed some actions. But in the case of Java, who is performing the compilative actions? No, compiler is performing the actions. Now what compiler will do? Put more concentration, all of you know. Point number 1, where preprocessor recognized all the hash include statements or not? Compiler recognized all the import statements. Compiler recognized all the import statements. After identifying the hash include statements, preprocessor has taken all the names of the header files or not? Now here, compiler will take all the specified package names, all the specified, what their package names, specified package names. All right, sir, good. Then after this, preprocessor went to the C++ softwares where preprocessor checked whether these header files are available or not. Similarly, compiler will go inside the Java software. Observe carefully, compiler will go inside the Java software where the compiler will check whether the provided packages are exist or not, or existed or not. Or compiler will check, no, compiler will go inside this Java software where the compiler will check whether the provided packages exist or not. In the case of C and C++, if the specified hashing, if the specified header files are not available in C software, their preprocessor will raise an error or not. Here also be, if the specified packages, are not existed, if the specified packages are not existed in the Java software, then the compiler will raise an error. Even the error message also I can give. What is that error? Can know package xxx does not exist. In place of xxx, we can write package java.io does not exist, package java.util does not exist, package java.sql does not exist. Like this, here we are able to get some message. If the specified packages do not existed in the Java software, then the compiler will raise an error like package xxs does not exist. There's a point here we have to understand. Clear? All of you are getting clarity on this? Okay. In C and C++, if the specified package, if the specified header files are existed, what preprocessor has done? Directly preprocessor has loaded the specified header files content to the memory or not? Here is a difference, no? Try to understand. In C and C++, preprocessor, when preprocessor identifies all header files in the C++ softwares, preprocessor has loaded all the header files content to the memory. Clear or not? Understand it clearly. In Java, what is going on? Now try to understand it clearly. In the, if the specified packages exist in the Java software, if the specified package exists in the Java software, then the compiler, listen carefully, then the compiler will not raise any error. Compiler will not raise any error. In the case of pre-processing in C++ also, preprocessor will not raise any error. At the same time, preprocessor will load header files content to the memory. In the case of Java, if the specified packages are existed in the Java software, then the compiler will not raise any error. And at the same time, please recognize this. And at the same time, the compiler will not load any predefined library. That means will not load any package to the memory. But in C++, preprocessor has loaded header files to the memory or not? But in the case of Java, preprocessor is not. That means in the case of Java, compiler is not loading any predefined library to the memory. That's the difference we can identify. In C++, at compilation time only predefined library is loaded. Whether we are going to use them or not, that doesn't matter. First of all, they will be loaded. But in the case of Java, compiler is checking only whether the libraries exist or not existed. If it is existed, compiler will not load that library to the memory. Compiler is not responsible for loading predefined library to the memory. In the case of Java, okay, compiler is not loading predefined library to the memory. That's okay, fine. But who is responsible to load this predefined library to the memory? Understand my point here? Here the note kind of point what I am telling to you. When we execute the same Java application, come again, what's the point I'm telling to you? When we execute the same Java application at a runtime, when JVM, that means as per the requirement, understand, each and every word is having meaning now. When we execute the same Java application at runtime, as per the requirement, JVM will load the predefined library. That means package content to the memory. This is on demand. This library loading in the case of Java is on demand. As per the requirement only, it will be loaded. Unnecessarily, it will not load at compilation time. For example, 100 libraries are required, 100 libraries are available. If it is a C programming language, all 100 libraries are loaded at compilation time. But we don't know whether we are going to use them or not. Their utilization is going on at runtime. But in the case of Java, libraries are not loaded at compilation time. Libraries are loaded by JVM at a runtime as per the requirement. All 100 are not required at a time. Out of 100, only 10 are required. Only 10 are loaded. Remaining 40 are not loaded. But in the case of C, C++, what will happen? All 100 are loaded. Whether we are going to use them or not use them, that doesn't matter. All of them are going to be loaded. But in the case of Java, only required libraries are loaded. Which one is very good now? Tell me. As per the demand, on demand, if we load them, unnecessarily memory we are going to waste. We are not going to waste it. Unnecessary memory utilization is not going to be happen in the case of Java. But in the case of C, C++, unnecessary memory wastage is going on or not. So because of that reason only, Java is having very good memory management. Java has very good memory management system when compared with what there, C and C++. Yeah, of course. Now coming to the conclusion here, almost all the points we completed here. When we execute the same Java application at runtime, as per the requirement, JVM will load the package content to the memory. Now observe carefully here, I'm giving conclusion. This type of loading predefined library, at a runtime is called, come on guys, now tell me. Previous in case of C, C++, predefined library was loaded at compilation time. So that is what the static loading. In the case of Java, loading predefined library by JVM at runtime is called as what their dynamic loading. Is called as what their dynamic loading. Right, now coming to the conclusion. What is my conclusion here? I'm telling to you. The conclusion is very clear. All of you observe carefully. In Java, preprocessor is not required. Preprocessor is not required. Why, sir? Why? Because in Java, observe carefully. In Java, hash include statements are not existed. Hash include statements are not existed. Am I right? What's the point I said to you? In Java, preprocessor is not required. Why? Because in Java, hash include statements are not existed. Answer my point here now. Then one more point I'm telling there. Another point here. Why? Because again here another reason why hash include statements are not existed. Why? Because in Java, header files are not existed. Okay, now I want to simplify this total statement here. In Java, preprocessor is not required. Why? Because in Java, hash include statements and header files are not existed. Because of that reason, preprocessor is not required. But alternatively, Java has import statements. And what next one here? Alternatively, Java has import statements. And what next one here? Classes and interfaces in the packages and compiler and JVM. Understand my point here? In place of the preprocessor, what is required here? Compiler and JVM we required. That's why here we provided this point here. Alternatively, Java has import statements and class and interface in packages and compiler and JVM. That's now because of that reason, preprocessor is not at all required in the case of like what there in the case of Java, but preprocessor is required in the case of C and C++. Clear? All of you are getting clarity on this? All right. One important interview question here I want to cover. You have to answer for my question. All of you ready to give answer for it? No? I'm expecting 4 answers from you. For a question, 4 answers I'm expecting. No, everybody has to give answers for it. My question is, what are the differences between hash include statement and import statement? That's a question. What are the differences between hash include statement and import statement? Right, sir. For understanding this total awareness, C and C++ knowledge is not required. I think everybody might be understand this content today, but might be some of you are not having awareness on the C and C++. Without having awareness on C, C++, easily we can understand the content what we are discussing now. So don't make any prerequisite for core Java. Core Java is a fundamental language. For this fundamental language, again, fundamentals in the sense not required. Actually, your academics, we may start with LKG and UKG. Am I right or not? Do you want to go for any prerequisite for LKG and UKG? Of course, nowadays might be school people are doing like what they, what is it? No, pre-primary. I think so. Play school. I think so. Play school per year 25,000. Here in the sense not 365 days. No, academic year 25,000. Actually, you are not recognized it. My son is studying now, 4th class. His entire one school fee, my entire BTech was completed. In only 4th year's fee, my entire BTech was completed. When he come to the 5th class, now my total academics are completed with his payment now. Understand? Nowadays might be the situations are going on like that. In a play school, what they are able to do, what they are going to learn, what people are, see, unfortunate thing is what their parents are very much busy at their home. They might be doing some job in outside, so automatically might be, so somebody else has to take care about it. Understand it? So definitely they are sending their might be childs to the play school, so it's okay. And moreover, that is one of the good thing also. At least might be childs can play there. But nowadays in a city life, how it is going on, only 4 walls, no playground, nothing else. When kids are having this, is the biggest problem nowadays. One simple example I'm telling that, just analyze it. At my time, of course, at my time, we don't have so many TVs, we don't have any mobile phones, we don't have anything. Everybody at my age, everybody used to go for might be playground, then used to play might be some different games. Even no equipment is going on there. We have some village kind of games now. The more exercise for the people by the time. We have cricket matches. How the cricket matches are going on there? Then 4 sticks, that means 3 sticks, 1 stick at opposite side now. Single bat, then that bat must be shared by both the batsmen now. No gloves, no pads, only rubber ball. Maybe then after that, after getting somewhat is there, cork ball. Do you aware about it, the cork ball? Right. If you have any problem with that, if you're unable to hit that ball perfectly, if it hit me, if it hit us, what will happen next moment? No, hospital only. So that plays are different. But nowadays, what childs are doing, even my son is doing there. When I go to my home, immediately is to take my mobile phone. Even I don't know how to open the different apps. I used to open the tabs, used to see that YouTube and so many different games. Nowadays might be how people are there, how childs are there at home now. They used to use the mobile phone, they used to open the YouTube. There they are searching for what is that? No, some granny game or something else. No, horror movie kind of things. They used to play that horror kind of game, horror movie kind of games now. How child are having this kind of thing, That's why, if it is a case, if any chance for me to recommend to the academic might be then education department at a 5th class, it's to try to give the Java as a programming language for them. They will learn it. Right? Okay, sir. Leave it anyway. Now let's move on to the point. So what are the differences between hash include statement and import statement? That very first one here, what I'm telling there, programming languages where they're available, understand it. The first one here, hash include statement exists in C and C++. Now tell me, whereas import statements exist in Java. Point number one. Point number two, we have to understand it clearly. Observe carefully. All right, so now here, what they are able to include actually, hash include statements, hash include statements are able to include the predefined library. Hash include statements are able to include the predefined library existed in the form of header files. Hash include statements are including header files only. All right, but the point is like what there? What's the point here? I'm telling there. Import statements are able to include the predefined library existing in the form of what there? Classes. We can say that classes and interfaces in the packages. I'm not going to say only packages now. Why? Because in C, C++ header files, equivalent components in Java are classes and interfaces, but they are available in what their packages. That's why here we have to say like what their classes and interfaces in packages. That's the point here I'm telling you. Okay, fine. Next one is after completion of this, the point number 3. Observe carefully. All of you understand this clearly, right? Who are recognized these hash include statements and who are recognized these import statements? If you observe this, hash include statements are recognized and evaluated by the preprocessor. Am I right or not? Whereas in the case of this, then what is the point I'm telling there? Import statements are recognized and evaluated by the compiler and JVM. At runtime we require this. Who is going to load that libraries now? JVM. Compiler just can recognize it for checking whether they're available or not. But at runtime, who is going to recognize them to load the library to the memory? JVM. JVM can evaluate it. Understand my point clearly. Next one is point number 4. Observe carefully, all of you know. All right, sir. Now, static loading and dynamic loading, two things are available. Which one is supporting static loading and which one is supporting dynamic loading? Hash include statements are supporting, come on, static loading. Next one is import statements. All of you have to carefully. Import statements are supporting what loading? You know, dynamic loading. All right, sir. It's okay, fine. Fifth one. I'm asking one question to all of you. Now try to answer for it. What is my next question here? Observe carefully. Hash include stdio.h. Yes, is it possible up to now in C++? Right syntax only. Comma conio.h. Can I use like this? Math.h. Can I use like this? That means, is it possible to include more than one header file by using single hash include statement? Possible or not possible? Not possible. It is not possible. But what is possible in the case of C, C++? No. By using single hash include statement, only one header file only here we are able to include. Am I right or not? So if you want to include 3 header files, no, 3 times we have to write what there? Hash include statement. Now the point what I am telling there, single hash include statement is able to include only one header file. Example here we provided. But try to recognize the next point here, what I am telling to you know. All right, in the case of Java, I am telling to you, import java.io.star. What is the meaning of star? All classes and interfaces from the package. That means by using single import statement, we are including all classes and interfaces from the same package or not. So single line is sufficient here in the case of Java, but in the case of C and C++, multiple lines are required or not. So that's the difference here I'm telling you know. All right, sir. By using single import statement, we are able to import all the classes and interfaces of the same package. Example here are given like what there? Import Java dot io dot star. Like this, we can use any number of packages. For example, I require classes and interfaces from different packages now. Then we have to import different packages. Multiple import statements here we have to write. But from the same package, multiple classes and interfaces, if we want to get there, we have to use multiple hash include statement. But in the case of Java, single import statement is sufficient if you want to get them from the same package. Then after that, diagram here I given anyway. Now try to check this one. Totally here. 2 points here we covered today. What are the 2 points here I given there? No. C and C++ are no response. C and C++ are static programming language, but Java is what? Dynamic programming language. Tell me how. In C and C++, memory allocation at what time? Compilation time. In the case of Java, memory will be allocated for data at what time? Runtime. That's why C++ are what? Static programming languages. Java is what? Dynamic programming language. That's very clear. I don't require the entire explanation. Just straightforward points are required. Highlighted points. Preprocessor is not required. Sorry, preprocessor is required in C++. Why? Come on. In a C and a C++, the total predefined library is available in the form of header files. To include these header files to the C++ program, what statements we required? Hash include statements. To recognize hash include statements, to load header files content to the memory, we required what? Preprocessor. In the case of Java, preprocessor does not required. Why preprocessor is not required in Java? In Java, predefined library is not available in the form of header files. Predefined library is available in the form of classes and interfaces in packages. To include classes and interfaces in packages, we have to use what there? Import statements. Import statements instead of what? Hash include statement. In Java, hash include statements are not available. Header files are not available. So preprocessor is not required. But alternatively, what is available? Alternatively, compiler JVM is available. Then in place of hash include statements, import statement is available. In place of header files, classes and interfaces in the form of packages are available. Right, sir. Now tell me, I'm asking some questions to you. Now tell me, between a hash include statements and between hash include statement and import statement, no, which one is including packages? Import statement. Which one is including header files? No, hash include. Which one is there in C++? Which one is there in Java? Right, sir. Which one is supporting static loading? Which one is supporting dynamic loading? Which one is recognized by preprocessor? Which one is recognized by compiler and JVM? Import statements. All right, sir. Observe carefully. In the case of in the case of hash include statement, to include multiple header files, how many hash include statements we have to write? To include multiple header files, how many hash include statements you have to write? Multiple hash include statements you have to write. To include multiple classes and interfaces of the same package, how many import statements we have to write? Single import statement here we have to write. Sir, are you getting it or not? That's okay, guys. Now these are the things here I'm telling you. Okay. Now today we completed this particular 2 points here. Tomorrow class is very important. If you miss the tomorrow's class now, you are going to miss damn sure one interview question. So don't miss the tomorrow's class. If possible, try to bring your friends also. Try to bring your classmates also. Tomorrow's topic, we are going to see very good content here. What is the point I'm going to discuss there? C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages. Platform dependent programming languages. But Java is a platform independent programming language. Java is a platform independent programming language. Not only the definitions. Tomorrow I'm going to talk somewhat internal concepts. C are platform dependent. How can you justify this point? What is the internal concept? How Java is a platform independent? How can we justify this point? What is going on internally? So that all the internal concepts here we are going to understand. So without failure, try to attend for the class, and tomorrow, if it is possible, try to bring your friends also. No problem. Right. And one small announcement to you guys. I given already classroom there. I'm going to give some messages regularly. Now try to watch that messages. Okay, fine. This is only for the sake of communication between you and me. I've given. That's okay, fine. Leave this one. Apart from this, another point is what there. This is Sunday. I'm not going to take any class for you. Already it's confirmed up to next few Sundays. But once if I start object orientation, even on Sundays also we are going to have somewhat sessions, extra sessions, long sessions. Minimum 3 to 4 hours of class I'm planning there on Saturday and Sunday. Not immediately after completion of some topic, right from OOPS concepts onwards. Please recognize this. Got it clearly? This is Sunday. Listen carefully. This is Sunday. I'm not going to take any class there, but for all of you, I'm providing one class. Without failure, you must attend for it. Almost 3 to 4 days before I'm giving intimation. So you have to make ready. We should be ready for it. All right. On this Sunday, not morning time. It's a common for every class at Durgasoft. No. On this Sunday, evening 5 o'clock. Evening 5 o'clock. There is a workshop on DevOps, importance of the DevOps, what is the requirement of the DevOps nowadays, what is the future in a DevOps, Java plus DevOps, what exactly the effect is going on in outside with a Java background. If you know the DevOps will come under full stack Java actually. What is the intention of this DevOps? What is the importance of this DevOps? How it is required? Right, one trainer already we have there, Mahasar in our institute is a famous, is a very good trainer on this particular area, cloud and DevOps, Linux, AWS, and what next one there, cloud DevOps. In this area is going to take one workshop for the entire institute in the same classroom. So that class is provided especially for you. In the starting point, if you know what is DevOps there, at least we can understand what's going to be happen there. There's an introductory content, you know. So not only you can call even your friends also, your classmates also. It's an open platform for everybody. It's a free workshop for everybody. You can come here, we can attend for the class. That class is going on in both offline and online. Offline people, we can come to the offline. Online people will come, we can come to the online. Yes, sir. Got it or not? So just it is a matter of 1.5 hours to 2 hours session there. That's the trainer will take that session here only in this classroom only. Try to attend for it. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it. What I'm telling there. What is the date and time now? Sunday evening 5 o'clock. Exclusively for the sake of you only. That session. Actually, the trainer is not available. Sunday he is busy. He had some family might be program there. But I requested him by thinking about your benefit only. I requested him. Finally, he said to me, okay. Then that environment already we started there. Sunday evening 5 o'clock, everybody must be here to understand the DevOps class. Just understand it. Workshop 1.5 hour of class. Try to understand what he's going to say now. Try to analyze it. How much it is useful for us. Clear? That's all, guys. That's all for today. Then tomorrow we'll see. Tomorrow, don't miss the class. Try to attend for the classroom. Thank you. Thanks a lot. We'll meet on tomorrow. Yeah, Vaibhav, right, that's perfect. Yeah, Devika, then I'm joining from Noida. Is there any WhatsApp group or any contact number of my technical queries? Yeah, Devika, then I give in the channel that today I created that what their classroom code. Please watch today's video, no? Then you will see how to open that classroom, Google Classroom. There we can contact with me directly. Yeah, Devika, understand it, what I'm telling there. Just directly we can post there so that I can clarify your doubts. Yeah, Devika Dikshit. In the starting point of the video, today's video only. Yeah, no WhatsApp groups. Actually, in the WhatsApp group might be data will be shared there, so we need to provide privacy for our data, so it's not like that. Yeah, that's why I created the channel. Then Google Classroom is a channel there. Today I explained it how to open it and how to give some information there, so try to check it. There are sessions recordings where it will be provided now. Yeah, through Google Drive. Then just say one thing now. If registered already for this course, then you will get like what there automatically our admin people will send that videos to you. Otherwise, just if we complete your registration process, just contact this number there where Shiva is the person. There we can identify it. Okay, he will send that required videos to you. Okay. Yeah, Sadiq, have you got it? What I said to you? Yeah, thank you, thanks a lot. money. అమ్మా నెల్లూరు దగ్గర ఇటు ఈస్ట్ గోదావరి వెస్ట్ గోదావరి అచ్చేటి చిరంజీవి వాళ్ళ ఊరు కదా రైట్. కాదు అసలు ఫస్ట్ మీకు అర్థం కాదు అట్లా ఆ ప్యాటర్న్ వెళ్తే 4 జావా అడ్వాన్స్ స్ప్రింగ్ బూట్ అంటే స్ప్రింగ్ బూట్ తెలియాలంటే మీకు స్ప్రింగ్ తెలియాలి కంప్లీట్ గా. ఆ స్ప్రింగ్ తెలియాలి అంటే మీకు 4 జావా అడ్వాన్స్ పెట్టి తిరిగి రావాలి. హైబర్నెట్ కూడా తెలియాలి. ఆ స్ప్రింగ్ తెలియాలంటే హైబర్నెట్ కూడా తెలియాలి. అవి ఇంటర్లింక్డ్. ప్లస్ ఈ ప్రాసెస్ అంతా కూడా షార్ట్ కట్. 4 జావా అడ్వాన్స్ జావా స్ప్రింగ్ బూట్ అంటే షార్ట్ కట్ ప్రాసెస్, కానీ ముందు స్ట్రగుల్ అవుతారు. ఇప్పుడు నేను పెట్టింది అంత ప్రాసెస్ స్టాండర్డ్ అప్రోచ్. వన్ టైం కనుక అయిపోయిందంటే 20-25 ఇయర్స్ మనం వెనక్కి తిరిగి చూసే పని లేదు. అంత స్టాండర్డ్ అప్రోచ్ ఇదంతా కూడా. సో ఇట్లా వెళ్ళారంటే మీకు అర్థం కాదు కూడా ఫస్ట్. మోర్ ఓవర్ అసలు 4 జావా నేను ఒకటే 3 months తీసుకుంటా. ప్యారలల్ గా ఒక 1 month అయిపోయిన తర్వాత అడ్వాన్స్ జావా స్టార్ట్ చేస్తా ప్యారలల్ టైంలో వేరే స్లాట్ లో. ఈ 2 వెళ్తా ఉంటే ఈ 2 సెషన్స్ లోనే ఏ ఒకటి అయిపోతే ఇంకా మిగతా స్టార్ట్ అవుతూ ఉంటాయి. 2 slots నడుస్తూ ఉంటాయి కదా, అయిపోయినట్టు వేరే స్టార్ట్ అవుతూ ఉంటాయి. సో మీకు ఇక్కడ కంటెంట్ బేస్ మనం చెప్పేదంతా కూడా షార్ట్ కట్ గా. సో 3 months లో 80% లో అసలు 3 కావు. అంటే మేబీ ఫాస్ట్ ట్రాక్స్ కూడా ఇప్పుడు ప్రజెంట్ బయట కూడా ఎవరు పెద్దగా ఏం తీసుకోవట్లేదు. 1-to-1 ఏమైనా ఉంటేమో ఆన్లైన్ వాళ్ళ దగ్గర కనుక్కోండి ఒకసారి. మన దుర్గాసాఫ్ట్ ఆఫీస్ ఉంది కదా, లోపలికి వెళ్ళండి. లోపల మన ఆఫీస్ కాదు, ఆఫీస్ దాటి ఇంకా లోపలికి వెళ్ళండి. ఆన్లైన్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ వాళ్ళు ఉంటారు. వాళ్ళు ఎవరన్నా 1-to-1 మీకు చెప్తేనే అట్లా అయిపోతుంది 3 months లో. ప్యారలల్ గా అటెండ్ అయినా కూడా ఆల్రెడీ నా ప్యారలల్ బ్యాచ్ అంటే ఆల్రెడీ స్టార్ట్ అయిపోయింది, ఎండింగ్ లో ఉన్నాయి. ఇప్పుడు స్ప్రింగ్ బూట్ ఎండింగ్ లో ఉంది. మళ్ళీ వెరీ సూన్ మేబీ ఒక 40 days 45 days లో స్టార్ట్ అవుతాయి. అప్పుడు మళ్ళీ స్ప్రింగ్ అయిపోయినట్టు స్టార్ట్ అవుతాయి. స్ప్రింగ్ బూట్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతాయి ఇమీడియట్ గా. స్ప్రింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఆఫ్ ది స్ప్రింగ్ అయిపోతే స్ప్రింగ్ బూట్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతాయి అట్లా. కానీ అప్పుడు కూడా స్ప్రింగ్ కంప్లీట్ అవుతుంది మీకు. మళ్ళీ అప్పుడు తర్వాత 1.5 month ఉంటుంది. తర్వాత 45 days తర్వాత స్టార్ట్ చేసి మీకు 1.5 month ఉంటుంది. అప్పుడు కంప్లీట్ అవుతుంది. వితిన్ 3 months లో కంప్లీట్ చేసుకోవాలంటే. అదే అందుకనే కదా మనం వీడియోస్ ఇవన్నీ కూడా మొత్తం ఇస్తా ఉంది. ఒకవేళ ఇంత కేసు మధ్యలో వెళ్ళిపోయినా కూడా ఎవరైనా కోర్స్ ఎక్కడ ఆగదు. డైలీ ఇప్పుడు క్లాస్ చెప్పాను కదా, వితిన్ 1 hour లో వీడియో వచ్చేస్తాయి గూగుల్ డ్రైవ్కి. ఇంకా చాలా మంది ఆ వీడియోస్ మీదే ఉంటారు చాలా మంది అట్లా. అందుకనే ఇదంతా దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకొని వీడియోస్ ఇవ్వకపోతే సబ్జెక్ట్ తక్కువ చెప్పి తక్కువ టైంలో కంప్లీట్ చేయాలి. తక్కువ చెప్తానికి మనసు ఒప్పుకోదు. ఉన్న సబ్జెక్ట్ మొత్తం చెప్పాలి. ఉన్న సబ్జెక్ట్ చెప్పడానికి టైం తీసుకుంటుంది. వీళ్ళు ఏమైనా మధ్యలో వెళ్ళిపోతే కోర్స్ ఆగిపోతుంది. అందుకని ఇవన్నీ ఆలోచించే వీడియోస్ ఇచ్చేస్తున్నాం అందరికి. ఇప్పుడు నేను క్లాస్ చెప్పేది రికార్డ్ అవుతుంది. ఆ రికార్డెడ్ వీడియో జస్ట్ వీఆర్ గివింగ్. అట్లా ఏం లేదు, సపరేట్ ఇండివిజువల్గా వెళ్ళాల్సి వస్తుంది అంతే. మేబీ ఆన్లైన్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయో చెక్ చేసుకోండి. ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ దానిలో ఏమైనా చెక్కొచ్చు ప్యాకేజ్. అది కూడా ప్యాకేజ్ ఉండదు. ఆ 3 courses ఇండివిజువల్ గా ఉండొచ్చు, ఏదన్నా వేరే ట్రైనర్స్ చెప్తా ఉంటారు. ఓకే ఒక్క నిమిషం. శివాని ఇట్ విల్ టేక్ మినిమం 6 months of time. 6 to 7 months of time it will take. Shivani, it will take minimum 6 to 7 months of time totally. Yeah, Devika. Yeah, thank you. ఎప్పుడది షెడ్యూల్ 1:12 గా సెకండ్ ఫ్లోర్ డెమో క్లాస్. సెకండ్ ఫ్లోర్ ఆఫీస్ ఉంది కదా, అక్కడికి వెళ్ళిపోండి. Then guys, then thank you guys, thanks a lot. And then Devika, then today video within 1 hour you will get this video. Yeah, there in the starting point I explained there how to open the Google Classroom, then how to check it. Now try to open it and try to check it. Okay. Yeah, thank you, thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks a lot guys. Then I'll meet on tomorrow. I'll see the remaining part. Thank you. Yes, Sadiq. Yeah, Devika, then you will get a PDF material and as well as like videos recordings, everyday videos recordings. Added Devika Dikshit. I've been. Yeah, then Devika, just please check one time your Gmail, no, whatever the mail ID you are given there. Google Drive access already our people have given link to you. Please try to check your Gmail. There you may get that one, right? Whole full stack course is provided for free now. Sadik? No, no, it's a paid course, not free course. Right. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. Yeah, then already demo class are completed. Then today or tomorrow. Sadika. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Devika, I know that. Don't worry. I'm not talking about with you. Already just one time there. Then Devika, just I'm giving some link to you. That means mobile number I'm giving to you. Now please check this mobile number on the screen. I highlighted one mobile number. Devika. Devika, just please give reply. Just call to this number. Our admin people will give that links and everything if you have not received. Okay, and to this number, try to send your transaction receipt now. To this number, try to send your transaction receipt. Immediately, they will send a mail to you regarding that Google Drive access. But as per the status, those who registered for this course, already our admin people have sent that Google Drive access there for everybody. I think so. You also check one time your Gmail there whether you are getting that link or not. In the case if you are not getting Google Drive access link, now directly you can call to this number where Shiva is a contact person. Then he will talk with you regarding that. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Devika. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. And I'll meet on tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll see some other required content again. Thank you. No, okay.